On this way too drunk to drive episode, Adam and Jamie get sloshed for science.
Woo! No, I usually don't let people do that.
What is the best way to get sober in a hurry? And is the myth of beer goggles fact or fantasy?
She's pretty darn cute.
Then Cary, Grant, and Tori rebuild an ancient weapon of mass destruction.
Watch out!
They start with one fire arrow, then try launching 200 to see if the Whatcha lives up to its legend. Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman.
Feel like I'm ready to go out clubbing.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Freedom!
Joining them, Grant Imahara,
Oh, you suck.
Tori Belleci,
Put your back into it.
and Carrie Byron.
High explosives and electricity. Woo!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. Let's wet our whistles with the myth of beer goggles.
I'm feeling a little left out here. And I'm glad. What's going on?
Beer goggles.
Beer goggles?
Beer goggles. It's been out there waiting for us the whole time, and for some reason we haven't tested it. The idea that alcohol has this magical property that will make people around you more attractive the more you drink.
Actually, I feel like I've been testing this for over a decade.
Yes, but that's anecdotally. We are going to test it scientifically.
Great, more drinking on the job.
Jamie knows that eventually this will turn ugly. They'll have to lose their inhibitions and maybe their lunch to test the truth of beer goggles.
This seems to be a really subjective thing. We need to be objective if we're going to be scientific. How are we going to do that?
Large sample size?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking that we rate photos. Specifically, we get a bunch of photos, us of women, you of men. We review a whole bunch and rate them when we're sober, and then we get drunk and re-rate those photos.
And see if there's a difference.
Exactly.
But before we raise our glasses, let's meet the newest member of the team with a vital role to play.
This is our new smartboard. Not only is it a really big, beautiful interface, but it's also interactive. Let me show you a couple tricks. Watch this. Ha, ha, ha. How about that, huh? Huh? You like that? It gets better. Check it out. Not only can I even do that, I can also diagram what's gonna happen in real time. Now, I'm not gonna go too much farther showing you the tricks this thing can do because we're about to use it a whole bunch in this very episode.
The board's first job is to help Adam, still sober, rate the looks of 30 women from 1 to 10. Here we go. He's got just 5 seconds to score each photo. He can see the time tick down on the left of the screen.
I gotta say, the exercise of giving a quick rating, it doesn't feel great. It's kind of an awful thing to have to do. Like I find myself resisting giving a 1 or a 2, but
Yeah, but
I got a 96. So the total possible score is potentially 300. Out of that, I gave a 96. The question from here on in will be, as I drink, will my overall score go up?
now it's Carrie's turn to rate the chaps.
I'm wondering if I'm actually gonna be nicer because I'm sober or if I'm just gonna get really cutthroat. All right.
Carrie, sober. Start.
5 seconds is really quick to come up with a number to rate someone. I mean, usually you give them a little bit more time if you're in a bar or something. And quite honestly, there are no supermodels on here.
Oh, God, do I rate you on your hair?
Carrie's either much more generous or less discriminating than Adam.
Okay, total score 154.
But she does know what pushes her buttons.
I noticed I was rating higher on men that looked confident. If they looked sort of squirrely and really apprehensive about the whole thing, I definitely gave them a lower score.
Now for a man who's anything but squirrely.
Your turn.
Okay. I'm about to I'll look at a bunch of pictures of women apparently and try to objectify them.
Jamie's got a point. Snap decisions based on looks alone are shallow and shameful. But hey, it's all in the name of social science.
It's set up so that it's sort of a gut reaction. I don't know how consistent it's going to be, but that's where the averaging becomes important, because you've got some kind of a number that should show a trend.
And Jamie's trendy number? Higher than Adam's, but lower than Carrie's.
So I got a 116. Whatever that means.
Well, it means nothing till they've done this twice more. First, slightly inebriated, and then stumbling, dribbling drunk.
Hello, Ginger.
Hi, Adam. How you doing?
Good. How about 3 beers?
Coming up.
Don't even ask how Adam knows the bar staff by name. Let's just say he won't need directions to the restroom.
Let the test begin.
To science.
Science.
To science.
The aim here is to get buzzed. For the boys, that means 2 or 3 quick brewskis. For Carrie, maybe 1 less.
What's red and smells like blue paint?
What?
Red paint.
She got Jamie giggling.
Ginger keeps the suds coming. And they're ready to test if they're officially buzzed.
Let's do a breathalyzer. Let's get some science going.
That sounds like fun.
0.06.
Over to Carrie, who proves she's too drunk to drive.
0.08. She's at the legal limit.
Then Jamie blows the same number as Adam.
0.06.
But will their slightly pickled perceptions affect the way they judge the opposite sex?
How am I going to do when I'm buzzed? I don't think it'll be a whole lot different than sober.
Adam's not so sure, and he's the first to try it.
I'm at a 0.06. You guys, don't cheat. Don't look over here. You got it?
No problem.
Okay. Adam buzzed. Here we go.
This time around, they've got 30 new faces, judged by others to be exactly as attractive as the first batch.
I can already feel my ratings being higher. I found it much easier to rate them buzzed than sober. I started to feel bad for the 1s and 2s, while sober, buzzed, didn't care at all. 1, 1, 2, you're out.
Harsh words, but his tally supports the myth. He is finding these faces more attractive.
My buzzed score overall was 121.
That's 25 more than his sober test. So on average, each girl rates almost a full point extra. Now for Carrie, who was far kinder than the boys first time round.
I think I get a little giddy after a few drinks, so I think I might be pretty generous after I've had a beer or 2.
Or 3. Carrie also has 30 new faces to rate. Again, all average Joes.
That is some fabulous hair.
But the beer goggle effect seems to be working in reverse.
Is this an uglier group of people? I wouldn't give most of those guys change if I passed them on the street.
Just 2 hours ago, sober, Carrie rated a similar group at 154. Now that she's loosened up,
My buzz score was 89. I might be a mean drunk. I'm not sure if I was charity rating before because I felt kind of bad for some of the uglier people, but there was absolutely no talent in this group. None.
so Jamie steps up to rate the new babes. And remember, he predicted no change whatsoever.
Here we go. Jamie buzzed. My perceptions of what made them attractive or not attractive are pretty much the same as they were the last time, as far as I know. I mean, nice complexion, regular features, signs of health, things like that.
But after 3 beers, Jamie's brain is lightly sautéed. It all comes down to one number.
Okay, I'm done. My buzzed score was 105.
His sober score was 116, but we're yet to test anyone cross-eyed drunk. And when we do, the figures, I promise, will surprise you.
I feel like I've met her.
All right, you guys, this next myth is gonna be insane.
What is it?
That's it, the hwacha. It's an ancient Korean weapon.
Oh. If there's a picture of it, that means it's not a myth, it exists.
Well, we know it exists. What we're gonna test is the legend of the hwacha, whether or not it could do what they said it could do. Apparently, they could fire 200 arrows all at once, going 500 yards, and all of the arrows explode on impact.
Okay, well, to begin with, any weapon in that era wouldn't have had the benefit of modern explosives or propellants. It was likely based entirely on black powder.
So first we need to find out if black powder can actually propel one of those arrows 500 yards.
Right, and then we need to see if we can get these rockets to explode on impact.
And finally, we need to see if we can launch 200 arrows simultaneously without them all crashing into each other or exploding on the stand.
It's a massive myth to unravel with 3 key parts. 1, can a fire arrow actually travel 500 yards? 2, can it be rigged to explode on impact? And 3, can you really set off 200 at once? So let's start up at the pointy end.
What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna build one of these arrows from the materials that the ancient Koreans would have used. I have some bamboo, I have some feathers for my fletching, and finally, a piece of steel to make my arrowheads out of.
Tori proves himself a first-class fletcher and a pretty fair blacksmith.
All right, so my arrow's done. Now it's time to see how it flies. Pretty dang good.
That's 1 down, 199 to go. Tori leaves the hard work to Karen as he and Grant skip town to visit Zambelli Fireworks in Pennsylvania.
We're lost, aren't we?
The rationale behind the road trip is that the fire arrows work just like skyrockets.
If we happen to have some fun while we're here, that's purely coincidental.
Just like fireworks, the hwacha rockets were charged with black powder. Ours have to travel 500 yards strapped to a 4.5-foot arrow. Grant and Tori are determined to roll their own, and Bill is here to help them.
Well, let's see, what's one of these weigh? Well, about 4 ounces. That's not bad. Every 12 ounces the shell weighs, we add 1 ounce of lift to lift it up in the air. You know, if you guys want to go 500 yards, that's a long ways, so we'll see how a 2-ounce rocket works.
Using 6-inch cardboard tubes, Bill shows how to pack a charge without blowing up the bunker.
And so you do a little bit at a time, and you
Put the rod down in, and you just give it a couple hits.
Feels wrong.
Go ahead.
Just don't hit it too hard, man.
Just
I'd hate
tap.
to see you blow your hand off. Feel good? Hey.
Grant and Tori make several versions, some with more black powder and some with less. The rockets are wrapped in paper, then Bill adds the fuse.
And when we go to fire it, we'll cut this paper and peel it back. And give yourself five or 6 seconds to walk away.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, let's see what these bad boys can do. Oh!
This is perfect. I mean, can't you just imagine an invading army coming out of that forest?
Totally. All right, so we need to see if these arrows can fly 500 yards, so we should walk it out.
They're here to test part 1 of the myth, that a rocket arrow really could make the distance. But 500 yards is a long, long way.
Isn't this how all horror movies start? Didn't that guy say stick to the path? This is gonna be perfect. We're right at the tree line.
The crop ends smack bang on the 500-yard mark. They tape the target halfway up a tree so they can see it from the launch site.
At this point, I think we're just going for distance rather than aim. But if I were to take a guess to see whether the arrow would hit him, I'd have to say we probably wouldn't. But then again, the hwacha had 200 arrows.
What angle do you want?
Back at the business end, they set the mortar to 45 degrees
Back up.
and start with the smallest rocket.
All right, I got a road flare to light the rockets, and then we'll see if they go 500 yards.
All right, now to get an accurate range, after it lands, you run out there and stand over where it landed. Got the range finder, and I'll take a range on you.
If this baby bear rocket reaches the trees, they can pack up and go home.
It didn't really work. I'm gonna have to say it went about 0 yards.
Not enough thrust.
Yes. It does look a little embarrassing that, you know, this is our first rocket that we built and it doesn't even fly, but that just means this rocket's too small and the arrow's too heavy.
So they try the mama bear charge.
Back up.
But it's still more blows than goes.
Cool.
There's a lot of reasons why these rockets might not be working. Maybe we didn't pack the black powder tight enough. The nozzle might be the wrong size, or the arrows are just too heavy and this rocket can't give it lift. But we're not gonna give up. We're gonna keep trying because we wanna get these arrows to fly.
So Grant tries a rocket with more powder and a smaller nozzle.
Quick, they're charging!
Oh, yes! That was nuts! Did you see it go spiral around?
All right, I'm gonna see if I can go find that.
Good luck!
Wow! That went more than halfway.
Yeah, 290 yards.
As beautiful as that was, it's still not good enough for this myth. I mean, the arrow only made it to 290 yards. We're not stopping until we reach 500.
For that, they'll need to double the charge by strapping on 2 black powder engines. But will the arrow bear the weight? Grant adjusts the angle to 50 degrees.
That is right on the money.
This field test is all about going the distance. Landing short would make this myth a misfire.
Come on, baby. Come on, watch out. Come on, come on! Whoa! Keep going! Oh! Did that look like it exploded above the trees?
Yes! I think it exploded over the trees, man.
That's 500 yards, buddy.
That went the distance.
Yeah!
The target's untouched, but they've got what they came for. They reached it.
This part of the myth is confirmed. God, this is gonna be a nightmare trying to get all 200 arrows to fire off at the same time.
And we still got to make the cart and find out if that explosive charge is mortally wounding.
We got a lot of work. We better get back to the shop.
All right.
Adam, Jamie, and Carrie are risking their lives, that should read livers, to test the myth of beer goggles.
This is the best day at work ever.
They've all done the test sober and then buzzed with varied results. Time to raise the stakes
I think it's time for a scotch.
and maybe lower their standards.
What are you gonna have?
Whatever's in that brown bottle.
Hard to beat a drink of something brown. Carrie still has a lot to learn, like don't tease the wildlife.
Can I style you? Hold on.
No, I usually don't let people do that.
I don't know about you, Jamie, but I'm ready to take this test, and I know that Carrie is.
Adam blows .11
That's good enough.
and Jamie .10.
That works.
So technically, they're both a bit wobbly. As for Carrie,
.13. Dude, you are so ready for this test.
in fact, they're all well primed for part 3 of the Beer Goggles Challenge. These last 30 faces are a random mix of those they've seen sober and buzzed.
She's pretty darn cute. 8. She's very cute. I've met her. It seems like in each group there's a lot more cute chicks.
When he's done, Adam's score reflects his growing enthusiasm.
134? Wow.
But the wild card here is Carrie. She was far harsher buzzed, so this could be anything.
Carrie, drunk.
Carrie, correct. Her 30 guys look set for another beating, assuming she can still see straight.
You look homeless, but kind of cute. It's all right.
Even Carrie's surprised that the tide might be turning.
When I was sober, I was definitely thinking that confident-looking people looked sort of attractive. And then as I was buzzed, they looked cocky And then as I got drunker, I was sort of thinking that the people that were attractive were sort of the more vulnerable looking people, sort of like the more sadder characters. They looked cuter.
And that's why men will never, ever guess what a woman is thinking. Carrie's score is 153.
I can't remember if that's higher or lower than either of my scores.
That's a 64-point jump from last time. As for the man bent on putting reason back into romance,
Jamie, drunk, start. Drunk, buzzed, sober, an apple is an apple and an orange is an orange. There we go. Drunk score 111.
from stone cold sober to stinking drunk, Jamie's judgment varied by just 11 points.
Basically what I'm saying is that I don't see that I'm subject to beer goggles.
With 3 very different results, they'll make or break this myth by checking the numbers.
I don't know about you two reprobates, but I don't feel in any condition to crunch any numbers. I think we ought to go home, drink a lot of water, sober up, and come back tomorrow.
Did you say you were calling a taxi?
Taxi, absolutely.
Looks to me like we all had very different reactions to the alcohol. What do you two make out of it?
I'll tell you what I see. If this myth were totally confirmed, all 3 of our graph lines would look like mine. A steady improvement in our assessment of the attractiveness of the opposite sex directly in proportion to the amount of alcohol we consumed.
It definitely looks like I was way harsher when I was buzzed than when I was sober.
And I look pretty consistent all in all.
However, I'd like to point out that both of you showed improvement from being buzzed to being drunk. That result, combined with my steady improvement all along the line, tells me this one is easily plausible.
Definitely plausible.
Okay, plausible. Dissonance.
Adam and Jamie have already drunk themselves sideways for science, but there's no time to sleep it off. In fact, that's exactly the point of our next myth.
Well, I've been thinking it along the lines of drinking myths. I have always wanted to do sobering up techniques, specifically because I've always wanted to see a high-speed shot of somebody getting smacked in the face.
Well, as long as that somebody is you, I'm okay with it.
I'll take that on. We can add to it to black coffee, exercise, whatever else people do to sober up. But we got to get drunk again.
Well, we've already shot the first part of the week. Let's finish it off.
Okay. Almost since the invention of alcohol, people have been drinking too much and then finding for one reason or another that they needed to get sober quickly. And they have tried a myriad of techniques. Techniques like drinking a big cup of black coffee. Vigorous exercise. It's also supposed to work. Dunking your face in some ice water. That's also supposed to work. Also, your friends might be inclined to smack you in the face to sober you up. Of course, it all begins at the bar. And although we're going to test every one of these, we got to get drunk first. Buster, set me up.
So the boys fall back off the wagon.
So you in town for a long time, or are you here for the convention?
Shut up, leave me alone.
There's those people skills, hard at work.
And that's just the first shot of 5. Realizing that things might turn ugly, the producers got Adam to pre-record the plan.
Because this whole story hinges on whether or not we are more or less sober, the researchers have found us the perfect test to determine that. This is a hand-eye coordination test that's very similar to one developed for astronauts. It simply involves staying at arm's length from a screen with weights on your arm and tracing this gray line. We are scored on both accuracy, how many times our line leaves the gray line, and for how long, and speed, how long it takes to make the whole journey. We've got a number of these. They're all different, but they're all the same length and involve the same number of turns. Jamie and I will each take one of these tests before trying a sobering up technique, and take another one after trying the sobering up technique. And we will each act as each other's controls, swapping out between techniques. Zdrowie.
Zdrowie.
They'll need to stay consistently drunk to validate the cures.
This is like taking medicine or something. It's not, it takes all the fun out of it.
I know what you mean, brother.
Tori and Grant have checked off the first part of the Hwacha myth. A bamboo arrow with a gunpowder engine can fly 500 yards. Part 2 of the test is to see if the arrows were double deadly. A warhead filled with more gunpowder was meant to explode on impact. But will it do more than just singe the skin? Only one way to find out.
We're going to stick this arrow in my butt and find out what kind of damage it does. But not exactly my butt, this butt. This is my ticket onto the show. Jamie and Adam were doing a myth about airplane suction, and they needed to take a 3D scan of my backside.
That's as good a deal as we get.
Rest is history. They gave me a job on the show.
Bent on adding injury to insult, the boys haul Carrie's keister out to the shipping container.
So this test is not about accuracy. We're gonna have the arrow already in the butt when we start the test.
Grant sets the fuse while Carrie lays the odds.
I think we could be looking forward to a nice big hole in this target.
Yes, I heard that too. What say we just fast track to the countdown?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
That was good!
But good isn't quite the same as great.
So we didn't exactly get the kind of damage we were expecting with this test, and I think part of that is that the dragon skin isn't an exact analog for flesh. We need something better.
So Carrie butts out, and a pig part takes over. Tori prepares a leg of pork.
You filthy little pig.
Grant inserts the fuse,
Okay.
and hopefully, we're making bacon.
This is tissue damage test on pork.
In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow, that's good. Oh, wow, look at that. More burning of flesh.
All right, but as far as making it a mortal wound that explodes inside you,
Yeah, the arrow itself is probably going to do more damage than the explosion.
But we're testing for deadly injury, so it's worth rewrapping the warhead to push all that explosive energy forwards.
That's a larger exploding arrow.
I think the boys really were hoping for some sort of gore and mess, but what really happened is the energy took the path of least resistance.
in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Ow!
Look at how much damage that did.
That's a little more what you were looking for. Huh?
And exactly what they were hoping for.
This is the same amount of black powder as the test before. The only difference is how we contained it. Now, before we had a thin paper tube, the tube blew out and all the energy was being released. In this test, we sealed both ends of the container and had a small fuse going in. So all that energy that was being lost built up, and ba-boom! Big wound.
That's 2/3 of the legend confirmed. The arrows can fly 500 yards, and they can cause serious additional damage when they explode on impact. To test part 3, whether 200 arrows really could fire together, they need to build their own replica Hwacha.
It's gonna be easier when it's got wheels on it. You can only use wooden bamboo, the ancient materials that they would have had. Basically, it's an ancient rocket launcher. The literal translation is fire attack car, but I prefer saying Hwacha.
Tori gets stuck into the carpentry, while Grant carves a life-sized army of styrofoam soldiers, all fated to end their days as Korean cannon fodder.
You know, since Tori told us about the hwacha, I've been doing a little bit of research about it. It turns out that the first one was made in 1409 during the Joseon dynasty by Korean scientists, but they say that one wasn't used in combat.
Yeah, and by 1503, it had become such an effective weapon that in the Battle of Hangju, 3,000 Korean soldiers and 40 hwachas repelled over 30,000 Japanese troops.
So they were outnumbered 10 to 1.
Yeah. In fact, at that time, the hwacha had become a primary defensive strategy. They just lined the borders with them.
That's cool. I hope ours can live up to that legacy.
Tori's exceeded all expectations, building a near-perfect hwacha based on nothing more than photos. He adds a splash of timber stain and some old-timey wheels.
And the wheels also act as an angle finder, so you can find the best angle for your trajectory. This is going to be awesome. Grant's army does not stand a chance.
Adam and Jamie are all set to test 4 mythical ways to sober up fast.
Uh-oh.
So far, all they've done is drink themselves stupid. Well, stupider.
Coffee, ice water, you name it. They're things that people try and sober up. We're gonna test that and see whether I can actually function better than I can now, because obviously I'm not doing too well.
This NASA-inspired test is the modern version of walking a straight line. First off, our crash test drunk straps weights to his riding wrist, then signs his name at arm's length.
Your name is Jammy or Johnny? Okay, when you hit the begin.
Jammy tries tracing a thin gray line. This test is judged on accuracy and speed.
I should point out that each of these tests is different, yet it includes the same amount of right-hand turns, left-hand turns, and curves, and overall distance.
Shut up.
What happened over here? Did you cough or something? 43 seconds.
Now it's Adam's turn to sign on, then post a score that reflects his hand-eye coordination.
Boop. What is that?
42.
42. Is that exactly the same time as you?
Yeah.
While Adam stays pleasantly pickled, Jamie tries the first detoxifier.
The idea is black coffee.
What are you doing?
I'm the control. See,
I don't think you're very much under control.
I'm not under control. I am the control. You drink that whole cup of coffee, we wait 5 minutes, and then we test you cognitively and breathalyzerly again to see if there's any stark improvement. And then I do the same 2 tests to see if there's difference in the improvement. Very idea that people always say is black coffee will sober him up. And thus, we've got to test it just the way it's said. It's the only way it sinks into people.
You sound like you're drunk.
In fact, I am.
But how drunk is Jamie after the coffee? His cursive shows signs of improvement, and his trace test looks quick and steady.
Whenever you're ready. You're rapidly improving. I don't know what to make of that, but I don't feel like crunching any data while I'm drunk. Okay.
And it's all about the data.
Oh!
Adam, who also blew .07, completes his non-coffee control test.
32!
So it's back to the bar. Adam treats himself to a few cups of Joe, so he and Jamie are back on a kind of even keel.
Here's mud in your eye. Oh, this is vile.
Now for a much-needed spurt of spirits.
On the assumption that the average adult male of our size processes, metabolizes, as you might say, 1 drink per hour, we are having a maintenance drink right now.
It's about now we'd normally warn you about excessive drinking, but those 2 miserable mugs tell the story.
This blows.
Technique number 2 for sobering up is vigorous exercise. And Adam's the guinea pig. It's all a numbers game. And here's a few more to consider. Adam has to run this treadmill for 5 minutes at 6.5 miles per hour.
This is scary.
His blood alcohol is .09.
Wow! I'm gonna have to concentrate on this.
Adams hung a green screen for inspiration, but then realizes it won't work because he can't see it. Some decisions really are best made sober.
1 minute.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Screw that!
You're not even sweaty yet. What's the problem?
I don't know if I'm closer to being sober. I'm certainly closer to being dead.
The smart money's on dead. Even Jamie has his drunken depths.
Look, we picked a treadmill because it's compact. It makes it easy for us to film this thing. But now that I'm looking at it, I remember that it takes a fair amount of coordination just to stay on the damn thing. And Adam's drunk.
What can I say? Even soused, the man's a prophet.
Whoa! Ah! Oh! Okay, I'm totally cool.
Now, here's 2 advantages to being drunk as a skunk. 1, he won't feel the pain till tomorrow. And 2, Adam's judgment is so impaired, he gets back on the darn
I
thing.
didn't break any bones.
10 seconds. 8,
Did my watch break?
6, 5, 3, 2, 1. You're done.
The good news for Adam's mom is that he's still breathing heavily.
There's a lot of competition, but that might be the worst thing I've ever had to do on the show.
There comes a time when no one wants to be drunk. So Adam and Jamie take the 4-step plan to get sober in a hurry. So far, they've tried black coffee and vigorous exercise. Before and after each, they both took a coordination test. And we'll sift the numbers once they're done.
I don't know what to make of that.
It's been unpleasant. Even painful. And now they're down to 2 mythical cures that should at least be mercifully brief. The first is a face-freezing dunk in ice water. Adam's the control, so Jamie gets his eyebrows iced.
I think within the pantheon of sobering up techniques, cold water is in the shock to the system category. I guess just the same way it could, wake you up in the morning, it's supposed to snap you out of your drunkenness.
Both the boys have blown .08, but it still takes guts to take the plunge.
Oh, God.
Take it, take it, take it! That's it! Yeah!
Jamie's either dead or just enjoying himself.
Wow, look at him. He's like a polar bear. He's like an aquatic mammal. You ready?
That feels kind of good, actually.
Here you go.
I thought it was going to be painful, but I kind of liked it.
As always, the boys run a post-cure test to collect the data.
23 seconds.
Now for the fastest and nastiest myth of all. It's a simple technique that always seems to work in the movies.
When I was thinking about sobering up techniques, I noticed in the movies, whenever someone's passed out drunk, somebody else goes, "Come on, man, wake up."
Adam's feeling no pain, but that's about to change. He's the slappee, and Jamie's the slapper.
Face slap. Let's see. Will it work? I don't know, but it's been something I wanted to do for a long time, so I don't care.
Nor do we. This one's been a long time coming.
Because I don't think it's Jamie's interest to give me brain damage. I'm half of his meal ticket, but at the same time, I know it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna really suck. I have to admit, I'm a little scared.
And with very good reason.
Just remember, this is going to hurt you a lot more than it'll hurt me.
Okay. Oh! Holy crap! Holy bleeping bleepity bleep!
Can I do that again? That was kind of fun.
No, that made my head ring. It definitely took my mind off feeling crappy and drunk. But I think that's the same effect that it's like if you feel hurt, you drink a little alcohol and you wouldn't care so much about being hurt. It's like the opposite effect. Oh! Holy was a good-sized slap there. Let's look at it again.
Well, he did ask for it.
Here it comes.
Oh, crap. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It's like your whole head is rubber.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
For the last time, the boys blow the bag and trace the graph.
"21 seconds.
They're far too drunk to know what worked and what didn't, but the stats they've gathered will tell the story.
Sobering up techniques. This looks pretty slick. Is it going to help us wrap it up?
In fact, it will. Let me walk you through it. This is you pre-coffee. Then you drank 3 cups of coffee and your score improved. However, I was the control and my score improved pretty much at the exact same rate. So I'd say coffee is busted. Now here is me pre-exercise. Here is me post-exercise. That's a pretty radical improvement.
But I stayed about the same, so that means it's plausible, right?
I totally agree. Plausible it is. Now, you were the one that dunked your head in a bucket of ice water. Here's you before, here is you after. Little lack of improvement. Mine was about the same. I say ice water is totally busted.
What about the slap? My favorite.
Okay. Here's me pre-slap. Here's me post-slap. I think that's a pretty undeniable radical improvement. You helped me out a lot. I'd say this one's plausible.
I'll have to remember that.
The best part is all of these results are totally backed up by the breathalyzer data we got as well.
I guess that does wrap it up.
Totally. No more drinking for us.
All famous conflicts have an equally famous battlefield: Gettysburg, Guadalcanal, and in this case, the Tykert Quarry.
This is it.
Tykert aggregates.
Do they have any idea what we're gonna do today?
No.
No one doubts the existence of this medieval Korean arrow launcher, but many doubt its capabilities. We've surprised ourselves by proving these rocket arrows could fly 500 yards, then explode on impact.
Whoa! Ow!
Now, to see if they can all launch together to devastate Grant's grunts.
Drafted.
It's a good thing you got a light infantry.
Oh, how long you been saving that one?
Not long enough. Now all 200 arrows need to be charged, and it's safety first.
We're starting to build our rockets and attaching our explosive heads. But just like Zambelli's, we're separating our stations. So if one of us goes up, we don't take all the rest out with them.
Now, Tori and I will be adding the black powder and sealing up the warheads, and we'll pass these off to Carrie, who will be putting the rockets in their final tubes and attaching them to the arrows.
I've been making fireworks since I was a little kid, 30 years. I never had a problem.
When the arrows are finished, the star of the show is coaxed from the trailer.
Watch it out! There you go.
It's free.
Let's roll it into position.
Tori sights the machine on level ground, and he's covered all the angles.
All right. And this is a 50-degree trajectory.
All right, well, armor's gonna be right over there.
All right, let's measure out 500 yards and set up your army.
Grant's army is just 50 strong, staked out in a loose skirmish formation.
When it comes to recruiting phone people, they're not that bright. So it's easy to convince them to stand out there in the field.
You ready to load the huacha?
I'm getting excited.
I must say I'm getting a little enthused myself. All 200 tubes are loaded,
Something's gonna happen.
and they know they'll only get one shot at this.
Okay, so all the individual arrows are now fused, and the idea is that we group them together and just keep grouping them together until in the end we have one final fuse that we light and then run away.
We've made a lot of ancient weaponry on this show. This is by far my favorite. This actually outdoes the ballista, and it outdoes the death ray for me. This is actually the coolest ancient weapon we've ever made.
But will the Hwacha live up to its reputation? Carrie's prepared to stake hers.
I think it's going to take down the army. I'm guessing at least 50% go down.
And that's got the infantry trembling in its boots.
All right, well, somebody's got to light the fuse. And I figured the only fair thing is, because we all worked on it, that we draw straws.
Yep.
All right,
All right, buddy.
let's do this.
Get it.
Grant sallies forth to light the master fuse.
Quick, your army is attacking! Run, Grant!
Then toddles back to safety.
It's going.
We got a little bit of time here.
They know something's bound to happen, but will these arrows all take off together?
Another 30 seconds. You can see multiple fuses going.
Or will the Hwacha just blow itself to pieces?
Oh, look at all the smoke.
The tension builds as the fuse burns down. No one knows just when or even if the last part of this myth will catch fire.
Something's happening! Something's happening!
They'll light each other.
It's the launch of a lifetime. A spectacle not seen by man nor beast in 500 years. And every arrow but one took flight.
That was fantastic. Just seeing all the rockets come out of the watch at once, beautiful thing. Seeing that would be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Oh, hey, look.
That's the one that went short.
It's an awesome enough sight side on. Half a dozen arrows drop short, and the army's still upright. But this myth is far from busted.
Well, the army's still standing.
Yeah, and you know what? There's not a lot of arrows in this area.
Where'd they go?
I don't know. They're around here somewhere. Oh, they've all grouped right over here.
Oh, wow, that's a great grouping, actually.
That's incredible. Like, they were pretty consistent.
Oh, they're definitely army over here. We only had 50 soldiers. Imagine if we had like 3,000, 30,000, 300,000.
Carrie's right. The troops wouldn't be so few or so scattered. So this rocket attack would be devastating.
All right, so Hwacha, confirmed?
Confirmed. They all left and they exploded.
Absolutely confirmed.
All right.
That was a good one, man.
The Hwacha worked on many levels, but most of all, it was frightening. All of those arrows flying into the air, on fire and exploding, would definitely make me turn around and run.
That was a success. I mean, we got all the arrows to fire off except for one, and they all went the distance, and they all exploded. Okay, maybe we didn't take out the army. That's just because our aim was off. But if we had been aimed right, we would have killed this army.
We knew it existed, but no one knew for sure what the Hwacha was capable of. And now we do.